Hi, my name is Audrey Byrd, and we're here today in the Allie Jensen Art Gallery at the Tulsa Equality Center. I'll be walking you through some pieces in my exhibit that will be running from March 4th through 31st. First, we have, this is one of two pieces when you first enter the gallery, and these are actually from the last gallery show that I had. I did a live demonstration of my painting and creation process and was able to just really improv it and get people excited about creating their own art. I use mixed media. This is a combination of latex paint and oil spray paint. And both of these pieces are 4 feet by 8 feet, and they are for sale, and all proceeds are going back to the Equality Center. So this is a great way to support some projects that we have going on here and show your love for the Equality Center. This is one of my favorite pieces. It's called Love Your Curves. The inspiration behind this was really not feeling like I loved my curves. I made a lot of art at the beginning of my career that was very not typical of my body type. It was kind of an idealized version of what I thought women should look like based on how they're portrayed in the media, how harshly they're scrutinized by the public eye. And I painted things that didn't look like me in an effort to feel a little bit better about my own insecurities. And I've grown so much in my art that now I love creating curvier bodies and really celebrating what I look like and what so many other women look like that aren't usually portrayed in art. So I had a great time with this one. I think it's just wonderful to be able to thank your body for all it does for you and hold on to those curves and be excited about it instead of wishing that they weren't there. This piece is called Why Must You Censor That? If you see most of the pieces in this room, there's no censorship, but this one I chose to censor the nipple. Again, talking about the public scrutiny that women go through, my explanation here actually says, so you're telling me my nipple is inappropriate, but his nipple is about as inappropriate as his kneecap. Okay. So I just think it's kind of funny that women are told to cover their bodies and every inch of us is sexualized when really this is just part of a human body that everyone has. And there's just some irony in this, that I censored this even though I believe that we should have no censorship of nipples. But it's just kind of drawing attention to the irony of that. This piece is called Mind Eraser. My thought behind this piece is kind of like if you pictured a chalkboard and you're racing the eraser across the board, you're kind of smudging it a little bit. You're not totally erasing it, but you're smudging it a lot. That's kind of how I feel like my memories have been. I wish that I had documented things better growing up because now I have almost no memory of a lot of things that I experienced as a child, and I just kind of have these smudges in the place of that, like maybe a snippet here and there, but I don't remember a whole lot of things that I've experienced in my life. Not really sure why, but it's kind of a bummer. But at least now that I've started making art, this can kind of be like my journaling process and can kind of keep track of all the things that I've experienced in my life. And I'll be able to look back at my creative journey and remember what I was thinking whenever I made that piece, even if I don't actually have those memories in my mind. So here we have Fullness. This is one of the few purely abstract pieces that I have in here, but I feel like the circles and the roundness of it reminds me of many parts of our bodies, how when you take a deep breath in, your lungs expand, your ribs expand in this spherical fashion. When you eat a good meal, your belly expands. When you walk around and you're able to take a seat, thank the roundness of your legs and your bottom that allows you to walk through life and experience everything that you do. And so this is just kind of a celebration of how our body takes care of us, because we can be so harsh with ourselves. And if we just take a moment to celebrate the fact that we can take deep breaths, we can eat good meals, we can sit down after a hard day, just celebrate those full features of yourself and your body. This piece is called Balance, which is a little ironic in itself because when most people think of balance, they think of symmetry and equalness on both sides. I purposely made these two breasts kind of lopsided, uneven in size, because this is a pretty good representation of actual breasts. You know, no breast is perfect. We might look at the lopsidedness as something that's not really wanted, but here I think that this is perfect balance. Having a little bit more on one side than the other, like that's your body and that's how it was made. And you should be proud of it and not scrutinize yourself for the lack of symmetry there. So this is a little bit ironic, but more a celebration of the uniqueness of every pair of breasts that anybody has. Here is my favorite piece of the collection. This is called Within and Without, and this one is actually when I was really able to let go of my perfection and my body images. I was able to make the breasts a little bit more droopy. I was able to accentuate the curves like I see when I look in the mirror for myself. And I was actually able to look at that with pure love for myself and like excitement that that's what I looked like, instead of wishing that it didn't curve like that whenever I bent over. So this was really a big breakthrough for me in my personal self-confidence and accepting my beauty as a person, but also a breakthrough in my art, because I feel like now I'm able to represent more diverse body types without fear of feeling shame on my own body, if that makes sense. So this piece really does mean a lot to me. Secretly, I hope it doesn't sell so I can keep it, but but I do hope that someone is able to have this in their home to remind them of their beauty and their flaws, what society tells us are flaws, but which are absolutely not flaws, they're perfections. So Within and Without, definitely my favorite in the series. This is a piece called Equality, and this is actually the first piece that I chose to be part of the collection for this gallery exhibit. I didn't make it for this exhibit, I made it for something else, but I knew that it had to fit in here. These are actually two mirrors that I encourage the looker to look into and ask themselves, are the spaces that I'm occupying treating me with equality? Are they treating others with equality? And what can I do to change that if not? So we see we have different paint patterns on the two of these mirrors. Technically, they're not the same, but they should be equal, right? So it's just kind of to get the viewer to ponder a little bit. If it is an equal space for you, is it an equal space for others? And if it is an equal space for you, then you need to use your power to make it more equal for others, make others feel more comfortable in their differences, because we're all made from the same materials. Here it's mirror paint. You know, you can organize it so many different ways, but it's all made from the same materials. So why not treat it as equal? That's how we are. This piece is called Speak Up. With the stance that she's taking kind of with her hands here at her waistline, it makes me think of someone like standing up in the front of the room, fidgeting with their hands as someone speaks over them. So here, I just wanted to encourage people to speak up and be heard. Don't just, be the polite, quiet person that you were maybe socialized to be. If someone's speaking over you, or if you see something happening that shouldn't be happening, use your voice and speak up, and don't just twiddle your thumbs while you watch something happen. So this is really just a reminder, like, you have a strong voice, you have a big body presence if you just let yourself have it. If you cower and feed into the perpetuated stereotypes of the polite girl, then you'll never know the kind of changes that you can induce in the spaces that you occupy. Here we have Forest Company. This is actually one of the oldest pieces in this room. It's been hanging in my bedroom for quite some months now. I actually painted it back in October, so I've loved looking at it. I hope that it finds a new home soon, but the inspiration behind this piece is trying to make room for multiple women in your life and in your spaces. I know we're kind of socialized to fight for the spotlight, and the everyone can succeed idea isn't always there. So here I wanted to fit multiple bodies in here and show that where your body wasn't made to fill, someone else will come in and fill that. So the contours kind of follow each other in a way that shows us like there's room for all of us if we just let it happen, and if we encourage other people to fill the spaces that we can't fill, then we will fill the spaces that they can't fill. It's a reciprocal relationship that I think is very healthy, and I wish more women would consider in choosing their spaces and choosing the people they spend their time with. Everyone's able to make it out to my gallery here at the Allie Jensen Gallery at the Dennis R. Neal Equality Center. The show will be running from March 4th through 31st. And if you come and post a picture on your Instagram, tag me. I would love to help get the word out. I'll be having some free stickers for you to take, a copy of Force Company, one of the pieces that we saw earlier. And I really hope that everyone makes it out. I'll be here Thursday, March 4th. If you'd like to meet me, come at 6. I really hope to see you there.